Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos. So on this video this morning, I am going to be giving you some more latest news regarding Paul Pogba, and these lots of other things to currently talk about. According to the mainstream media, Paul Pogba is refusing to play for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer despite being fit. Reportedly, it has said that he's allegedly faking his injury, to force a transfer from Manchester United to Real Madrid. So he's still orchestrating on making a move to Real Madrid in the January transfer window. And I did update you regarding Paul Pogba. I think it wasn't too long ago, and he still said he's desperate to quit Manchester United. So actually, he's got the same perception now than what he had for the entirety of the summer, basically, because for the entirety of the summer he wanted to leave Manchester United, but he did reveal at the start of the summer anyway that he wanted to leave the football club because he said he was seeking for a new challenge, and basically wanted to leave to rejuvenate his career. Obviously, prior to the Sheffield United game, he did actually say Paul Pogba is expected to be out for another 3 weeks with this ankle injury. Obviously he's missed the vast majority of the games this season with injury, and he hasn't played since the 1-1 draw with Arsenal earlier on in the season. But as you all know, the other week he did allegedly say that Paul Pogba had travelled to Amsterdam to have his ankle cast removed, so that indicated out that he was closer to recovering from injury. But Solskjaer, Man United, and that do know how much of an imperative player that Paul Pogba is. Paul Pogba is in his 4th season now as a Manchester United player since he rejoined from Juventus back in 2016. And obviously, analysing the vast majority of his career with Man United, he has been mainly inconsistent, in comparison to his time at Juventus, because Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years in Turin with Juventus. But I think the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison, to his performances at Juventus. Obviously, he wasn't only linked with Real Madrid, during the summer. There was also a lot of reports emerging out about him possibly, making a return back to Turin. There was also rumours, that he could have gone to Barcelona, but his preference is a move to Real Madrid, because Zinedine Zidane did actually identify Paul Pogba as his #1 priority target, during the summer. But I did say the big stumbling block of Paul Pogba's move to Real Madrid in the summer was reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him, because we wanted in the region of around £180 million, even though it was adamant he wasn't for sale. But Real Madrid, of course, were reluctant to meet that. Real Madrid did spend a substantial amount during the summer. They spent around £300 million on 5 players. They did manage to sell some players, so they did generate some of that money back. But they are still orchestrating on recruiting more players in Real Madrid. But yeah, definitely, Paul Pogba is going to leave next year. And I think, according to reports, it's looking very imminent. It is going to be in January. Don't forget, Paul Pogba's still got 2 years left on his contract with Manchester United, with an option to extend it by a further year. And he's on around 290 grand a week. So in that aspect, he's one of the highest paid players at the football club. And he's still only the age of 26. So you can still quite frankly say that he is in his prime. But we have seen Paul Pogba at his best as a Manchester United player, and we mainly saw him at his best in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. But yeah, he still does want out of the football club. But it wasn't only for the entirety of the summer that he was subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Reflecting back under the Jose Mourinho era, there was a lot of narratives about him, leaving the football club, because obviously, he enjoyed a really bad relationship with Jose Mourinho, and Paul Pogba got one of his best wishes, of course, when Jose Mourinho left the football club. So that's the latest news regarding Paul Pogba. Obviously, we've still got quite a few other injuries as well, but obviously, players are now coming back from injury. Like Solskjaer did confirm before the Sheffield United game. He did say the likes of Matic, Tuanzebe and Luke Shaw have all returned to training, which is very, very good news. Matic has been out with a minor problem. Luke Shaw has been out with a hamstring injury, and Tuanzebe has been out with a hip injury in that. But yeah, they all returned to training. Eric Bailly, Diego Dalot, Foster Mensah reportedly all returned to training. But he did confirm that they had trained away from the rest of the squad. Bailly had been out with a knee injury. Foster Mensah's been out with a knee injury, and Diego Dalot has been out with some kind of leg injury. So reflects on the amount of injuries we've had this season anywhere. Solskjaer has had to make a lot of alterations in the squad. As you know, regarding McTominay, he's out for at least another couple of weeks, as Solskjaer did confirm. Don't forget, during the international break, McTominay had to withdraw from the Scotland squad, due to his ankle injury. So he did say he had initial scans on his ankle, obviously to find out the extent of the injury, and it is actually now severe. So reports emerged out saying he could be out till Christmas. He's definitely likely to miss the games against Man City and Tottenham, but McTominay now is going to be a big miss in that midfield, because like I did say, McTominay has been a revelation this season. I don't know if he's a long-term solution for Man United. I think he's the right solution at the moment, reflecting on his impressive performances. But yeah, like I said, he has been a revelation, but these question marks around him, can he keep the consistency up? But, fair play to McTominay, but his injury initially recurred in the 3-1 win against Brighton, but he initially sustained it in the 3-0 win against Partizan Belgrade. So I think he's done really, really well. I think also Fred's been a revelation quite recently, because his performances have been very, very good recently, and I think him and McTominay have blended well together in that midfield, and have obviously played together in that midfield this season. I will agree on one aspect. Man United definitely overpaid for Fred, because we paid just under £50 million for him last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk, or was it £50 million? But I think he's full Paul Pogba's position well, because Solskjaer initially confirmed anywhere that Fred will take Paul Pogba's position for a while, But yeah, and obviously I give you my post-match reaction on the Sheffield United Man United game, of course, that ended 3-3 on Sunday. Obviously, I think we can take one positive out of it, that we did have a good 10-minute spell in the game, but I think prior to that we was on the back foot for 80 minutes. Like I said, Sheffield United dominated the ball. They created a lot of chances. And, David De Gea had to pull a few world-class saves off, especially, in that first half. But Solskjaer, did give his overarching view on the game, and he did take some positives out of it, that he was pleased with the comeback. He did give us a glimpse of the Alex Ferguson era, because we did see a lot of comebacks under the Ferguson era. Obviously, he said the young players had learned valuable lessons, so you can say there was some positives, to take out of the game. But, we was close to our first win of the season, from obviously losing position, but where we ended up drawing the game 3-3. But obviously we know that a draw isn't good enough. Basically, it's a game that we did have to win. It was the first time that we had travelled to Bramall Lane for 13 years. But like I said, Solskjaer is definitely under intense pressure at the football club. Obviously, the vast majority of Manchester United fans are demanding him out. Obviously, you'll still get some Man United fans that are saying, we should still give him more time. We should still give him at least a couple more windows, to see who else we can recommend in to the football club. Because, like I've said on numerous occasions, the vast majority of this team isn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. There's only 3 players that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's that he did recommend into the football club during the summer, and spent obviously nearly £150 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire. The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's, because Jose Mourinho did recommend 11 players to the football club. Now Solskjaer is still inheriting the vast majority of them. But in a way, you can say that Solskjaer is inheriting, a pretty decent squad, because he's actually, some good players in our team, a lot of money, and that's been invested into the football club over the years in all the managerial eras. But, the problem is, the team's just not playing as a unit. That's the problem. Obviously, the blame stems from the manager in that aspect. And I don't think, Solskjaer is the right man, to elevate Manchester United forward. Recently, Gary Neville has come out and said that Solskjaer does need to spend next year. Obviously, if he doesn't do this, then Gary Neville doesn't think, he will last too long. But you're getting a lot of Man United fans now saying, we should get Mauricio Pochettino in to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But actually, there's been a couple of managers on our agenda, who could replace him at the football club. But definitely further more investment is needed in the squad. From my own perception, I think we need at least 5 to 6 more signings if we are to be back to being a competitive elite level football club. And of course, if we are to be future title contenders, maybe we even need more than 6 players. But definitely, there's still deficiencies in the squad that do need to be addressed. We definitely need to get 2 midfielders in. I think we need an attacking midfielder. We also need a defensive midfielder, but we've definitely got to recruit a replacement for Ander Herrera. We also need, I think, 2 attackers. We definitely need at least 1. We need to recruit a replacement for Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez. Because you can say we've looked very exposed in that attacking line following their departures, despite the fact that, Rashford's rejuvenated himself recently. Martial's been fantastic, since he's come back from injury, and you can say he's had more inspiration in that attacking third of the pitch. I think you could arguably say that we do need a right winger, and there's also other areas in the squad, I think, that do need to be addressed. I was reading recent reports, and it did say, Solskjaer is considering, making loan signings for January, as he's got strong reservations about his long-term targets. And reportedly, Solskjaer is going to be given around £100 million to spend in January. I think it did say around 200 million in total for January and next summer. So that's 100 in January, 100 million next summer. These question marks regarding that, though, is that enough for us to get the right number of players in? Is it enough for us, to address all the deficiencies in the squad? For me, it's dependent on, how we are with our recruitment. We're going to be sensible with our recruitment, or we're going to overpay for our players, like we have done, especially in recent years. But like I said, it's not always about overpaying for players. It's not always about, getting them Galactico players. And that's been proven with Manchester United in the last 6 or 7 years. But the good thing is Solskjaer is making plans for January. But to be quite honest with you, I'm sceptical now about Solskjaer being here until the end of the season. There's a possibility chance, he could still be here by January. I think it's basically all dependent on maybe the next 3 to 4 games. I think for Solskjaer's managerial tenure to be saved, I think he needs to win at least 2 of his next 3 games. And our next 3 games in the league are Aston Villa, Tottenham and Manchester City. And we know that Man City and Tottenham are going to be extremely difficult in that. But I can definitely assure that Solskjaer will not see out his 3-year contract at the football club, because obviously Solskjaer had been given a 3-year contract when he had been given the job permanently, which was obviously now in March earlier on this year. And that was one of the mistakes Man United made, was obviously giving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job. Obviously he's on around £7.5 million a year. So if Man United do decide to sack him, then it will cost the club a substantial amount. I don't think we probably have to pay as much as we did, to get rid of Jose Mourinho. But Solskjaer is aware of the pressure, that is under. Don't forget, reflecting back before the Liverpool game, he was under intense pressure then. But obviously, with the draw against Liverpool and the win against Norwich, and that you can also say they saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure at the football club. Maybe you can say Sunday's game against Sheffield United, if we hadn't have, produced that comeback, then maybe, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, could have been sacked after that game. Like I said, I was reading the Daily Express yesterday, and it did say, we could sack Solskjaer after the 7th of December. And recommend Mauricio Pochettino in and all that. It could happen, it's not assured, that's obviously going to happen and that. But like I said on my video yesterday, a lot of Manchester United fans are demanding Mauricio Pochettino win. Because to be honest with you, I think he would be the right candidate for Manchester United. I think he's totally a comparison to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is Mauricio Pochettino. Like I said, Mauricio Pochettino has a lot more experience than Solskjaer. My only element of concern I've got about Mauricio Pochettino is that he hasn't won out in terms of silverware. But I think he enjoyed 5 great years with Tottenham and Mauricio Pochettino. Obviously, he got sacked last Tuesday. Obviously, Tottenham came out with the public statement to obviously come out with a variety of reasons why they had sacked Pochettino. Because obviously Tottenham have enjoyed a really difficult start to this season. They are currently sitting, they was sitting 14th in the league prior to the game against West Ham. But I thought he did really, really well, did Pochettino. His philosophy was right for the club. And I think he's good at developing young players and that. And I think, what he did at Tottenham, if he came to Man United, he'd be able to replicate this, at Man United, what he did with Tottenham. But he is managerless at the moment. Obviously, he's been linked with the Arsenal job. He's also held talks with Bayern Munich and that. But hopefully, Man United can get him in. But Pochettino, like I said, did enjoy 5 good years with Tottenham. He also enjoyed a really good short tenure with Southampton before he was at Tottenham. And he also, was at Espanyol before that. So he's been managing now for just over a decade as Pochettino, because he began his managerial career in 2009. Don't forget, though, Mauricio Pochettino was our primary candidate before, recommended Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in, don't forget. This was after the sacking of Jose Mourinho. Mauricio Pochettino was our primary candidate. Obviously, at that point, we couldn't get him because he was reluctant to leave Tottenham. And like I put into the equation, Daniel Levy is a hard negotiator. Pochettino, when he was at Tottenham, by the way, did sign a 5-year contract worth around £8.5 million a year and that. So, mate, I presume, would it, cost us many money, to recommend Mauricio Pochettino in. But I did give you a couple of reasons why, we went with Solskjaer over Mauricio Pochettino, is because, Solskjaer obviously was a cheaper solution. We didn't really pay that much to Mull to recommend him in. And plus, he knows the traditions and that of the football club, because he was a great long-serving player for Man United for 11 years, and he flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance and that. Obviously, if we were to sack Solskjaer, he would be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since the Alex Ferguson era, and Mauricio Pochettino, of course, would be our 5th permanent manager in total. But obviously, the club don't want to sack Solskjaer anywhere, because obviously, we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers, despite the fact, we've already sacked 3 managers so far since the Alex Ferguson era. Like I currently said in that. But I think the board are trying to soften their stance as much as they can on Solskjaer, because obviously he's a club legend and that. But I think, disregarding him being a club legend, I think he probably, very, very probable, by the way, he would have been sacked by now. Ed Woodward obviously assured recently that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe at the club, despite our disastrous start to the season, because obviously, we've enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for over 30 years. And, there's still some players at Man United that believe, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is the right man to lead the club forward. But I just don't think he's the right man. And don't get me wrong, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure, to work out at Man United. But, I just don't think it is going to happen. There's some aspects of me that do credit him. I've also, got some element of concern about him. The things I do credit him for is that, he's got a lot of trustworthy in his young upcoming players. We have showed some tactical flexibility in some games this season, but for the vast majority of this season, I've got to be honest, Solskjaer has been tactically inept, so that you can say that's another element of concern. He's obviously tried a few different elements, obviously, to try and turn things around at the football club. Did get rid of a lot of the deadwood during the course of the summer, so I will credit him for that. But, Solskjaer hasn't really got that experience as a manager, not really to the highest level, and you can say that's an element of concern. Doesn't mean, he won't succeed at Man United and that, but he just hasn't, really got it. Obviously, as a manager, he's actually, was comparison to as he was as a player, because like I did say earlier on in the video, he was an absolutely fantastic player. But Solskjaer hasn't been here that long. He's only been at the football club around nearly 12 months now he's been here, so he has been here nearly a year. He's been permanent manager now for nearly 9 months, and obviously for the vast majority of that 8 months, 9 month period, obviously he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time. So I think Man United do need to get rid of him, even though a lot of people may believe that he won't solve any problems or a lot of problems if we were to get rid of him, especially at this present time. But because due to our bad performances for the vast majority of this season, obviously bad results, Solskjaer is definitely now accountable for some of that, but not all the blame does stem from him. Like I've said, I think we need to see a variety of changes at the football club. I think we need to get rid of our current board, because the board have been a liability for several years. I think we also need to get rid of Ed Woodward, because he also replicates the board. He's been a liability for quite some time, and I do believe we also these also more players that do need to leave the football club. Obviously, I know a lot of players have left there since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival, but these still problematic players now at the football club. So my overarching view on it, I think we need to get rid of at least another 4 or 5 more players. I think we definitely need to get rid of Ashley Young. He's definitely one of the problematic players at the football club. There is question marks regarding Solskjaer though. Why has he been playing Ashley Young on a regular basis this season? Young's now into his 9th season at Manchester United. He has been here 8 years, so obviously he has been here since the Alex Ferguson era. And one mistake, another mistake, Man United made was giving him that new 1-year extension last season. But he has now passed his sell-by date. He is 34, he is 35 next year. Phil Jones, he's definitely one of the problematic players. He was at fault for Sheffield United's first goal on Sunday. He got bundled over far too easily. Solskjaer, did explain the reason why he went with Phil Jones over Tuanzebe, despite the fact, that Tuanzebe came on in the game against Sheffield United and that. But Phil Jones, like I said, his appearances now are limited in the Premier League, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice centre-backs are Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire mainly. I said he'll get the odd, start in a league game and that. But, you'll probably see more of Jones in like the Europa League and the Carabao Cup games. But, I think he's too inconsistent now, and we shouldn't have give Phil Jones a new long-term contract last season. Jones is now into his 9th season as a Manchester United player. He's been here 8 years, so he's been here more or less the same amount of time as Ashley Young. Marcus Rojo is injured by the way, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did confirm. I think he sustained the injury during the international break, to be quite honest with you. But I think we need to probably get rid of Marcus Rojo, even though we have seen glimpses of how good he can be as a Manchester United player. Some people say, we should keep him for at least another year. I think Solskjaer did say, I think it was like a month or so ago, that he's preventing Rojo from leaving the football club in January. He's explained the reason, or the reasons why he's currently doing this. Don't forget, he was subjected to transfer speculation during the summer. There was quite a few foreign clubs in for him. Don't forget, Everton had inquired about getting Rojo, but obviously Everton didn't get him. But we put around a £25 million valuation on Rojo. I don't think Everton were willing to pay it, so couldn't come to an agreement on the fee. Rojo's just got under 2 years left on his contract to the football club by the way. I think his versatility is very, very good. He can play in various positions in that back line. Obviously, Matic, we've definitely got to get rid of Nemanja Matic, because he's definitely one of the problematic players. And, like I've said on numerous occasions, despite the fact, that we haven't strengthened up in that midfield, I still think, we need to get rid of Nemanja Matic. I've got strong reservations about him. He's aging up, he's 31, he isn't getting any younger. Yeah, too inconsistent. And again, Man United overpaid for him. We paid just under 40 million. Well, it was 40 million pounds, was it, for him from Chelsea? We paid 35 million up front. Obviously, there was 5 million add-ons, which did rise up to around 40 million pounds. He's well Premier League proven, but obviously at the time we recommended Matic in under the Jose Mourinho era. He wasn't our first choice. He was like our third choice signing. Solskjaer, I think, recently laughed off the rumours of Matic possibly going to Tottenham to yet again reunite with Jose Mourinho. But I've got so many concerns about him. He's just too slow. That is the problem, basically. But if it would be beneficial if we could cash in for him in January, rather than letting go on a free transfer at the end of the season, because his current contract comes to an end of this season. But we do have an option to extend it by a further year. But obviously very sceptical about Man United extending his contract. So moving on, definitely. Some people say we need to get rid of Jesse Lingard. You can say, he's one of the problematic players. He's enjoyed a very, very difficult time this season in the games he has been involved in. And I did say, didn't I, reflect on his status at the football club, reflecting on the number of years he's been here. He should be performing, to the standards as we should expect from him, basically. But yeah, there's definitely more players that do need to leave the football club. And the other change we need is a change of management. You can also say that we need a new director of football, because analysing it during the summer, we was in search for a new director of football, but unfortunately, we didn't get one in. There was quite a few former Manchester United players, by the way, linked with a role. And I did say if we were to get a director of football in, we need someone who knows the traditions of the club, someone who would be reliable to oversee our transfer business, because quite frankly, Ed Wood was not. And someone, who's got the right philosophy for the club. So obviously they can, bring the right calibre of players in and all that. But I think Ed Woodward is still keen on trying to recommend one in. Obviously, like Edwin van der Sar now, obviously is out of the equation, because not too long ago he signed a contract extension with Ajax. But as it stands at the moment, we are currently sitting 9th in the league. We've won 4 games, we've drawn 5, and we've lost 4 so far. So we're 13 games into the Premier League season. We've registered 17 points from a possible 39. That's not good enough, nowhere near good enough to our standards. We are 9 points behind top 4. I'm very sceptical about Man United now getting that top 4. Like I did say, I think our only route to the Champions League for next season is progressing in the Europa League, basically. We are into the knockout stages of the Europa League. We're still 2 games remaining, by the way. We've won 3 games out of 4. We've registered 10 points from a possible 12, which is obviously very, very good in that. But yeah, I still say, even though we've enjoyed a bad start to the season, that I still believe that we are good enough to enter the Europa League. So I think for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be remain in the job, I think our league form's got to improve. We've got to win some silverware this season if he is, to stay at Manchester United. Definitely. Well, I can actually, assure that. But I said, didn't I, at the start of this season, our expectations this season anyway, will be able to finish in that top 4. I think our aspirations, to be quite honest, we will be that top 4 in the next couple of seasons, definitely. Because analysing our squad at the moment isn't good enough to win the league or mount any kind of title challenge up. And, we haven't won the league now for nearly 7 years. The last time won it, obviously, was in Alex Ferguson's last season. But yeah, when I don't think we're not going to get that top 4 this season. But I did actually expect us to enjoy a better season this season than what we saw last season. I did actually say this at the beginning of the season, but obviously so far it has had to be. We've had a good run of form, and then it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and it's happened again. it's reiterated with the game against Sheffield United, 1 step forward, 2 steps back and that. But, you know, I've seen a variety of changes in some games and that, you know, where we've actually looked better, we've created more chances, you know, we've scored more goals, which is obviously, you know, positive. You know, like I said, certain players have rejuvenated themselves, which is obviously, you know, very, very good. And I think we've looked better. I think we do look better in that attacking line. You know, obviously Rashford Reese rejuvenated himself. Daniel James has been fantastic. Like I said, Daniel James has been a revelation this season for Man United, and I'm actually surprised the amount of games he has played. You know, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, when we signed him in the summer, I did expect him to play, but I didn't expect him to be first choice, and plus I didn't expect him to play as many games to the extent as he has done, you know, surprisingly. But, you know, he's deserved to keep his place in the team anyway, you know, reflecting on his good run performances. If Daniel James does keep this good run of form up, I can definitely assure you that his valuation will persistently grow. But without a doubt, I think we need to add more experience in that attacking line. But, yeah, we look slightly better. Defensively, you know, you can say we're not 100% better defensively because, you know, we still seem to be leaking goals for some reason. I think Harry Maguire I think he's settled in really, really well. I think he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. £80 million. Again, I think, you know, we did overpay for him and that. But the reason we paid that amount is because, obviously, you know, Leicester didn't really want to lose Harry Maguire. So we will take that into account, obviously. We'll take that into account, obviously, and obviously we go against FC Astana this Thursday. Preview should be coming up for that soon. You know, it is away, by the way. It is at Kazakhstan. You know, it doesn't matter if we don't win. Obviously, you know, we already are into the knockout stages. But some people now say anyway that the Europa League is more of a priority than the Premier League because obviously we want Champions League football. What charger? For his phone? Yeah. Yeah, I've got it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just put it on washing basket.
Yeah, but like I said, regardless who our manager is, you know, we'll never be the team that we was under Alex Ferguson. So Solskjaer can't invoke Ferguson's legacy at the club. And I don't think any other manager, you know, would be able to invoke Ferguson's legacy at the club and all that. But yeah, I think Solskjaer, by the way, did reveal if he is still Man United manager by January that he does want to continue the policy of recruiting young players, and in that aspect, he does, you know, replicate, you know, Alex Ferguson. But yeah, that's mainly everything to update you. So that's the big news regarding Paul Pogba. He's refusing to play for Man United, despite being fit now, reportedly. But I said anyway, I knew he wanted to still leave the football club. Maybe the main factor reason why he wants to leave is because he's frustrated with the lack of competitiveness at Man United and that. But I think he'll be a Real Madrid player in January, to be quite honest with you. You know, Solskjaer, I think, will do everything he can, you know, to try and keep him at the club. But regardless of whether Paul Pogba stays or goes anyway, you know, we still need replacement. We still need at least one midfielder in. But, you know, analysing it, you know, we're not in the commanding position that we should be in. You know, reflects on the size and the potential of this club, also reflects on the amount of money that's been invested into the football club. But, you know, there's still time for things to be turned around. But it is obviously, you know, a long process. It is a long process, guys, and all that. And you know, we haven't only spent a big on players. Also, you know, we have got players on big contracts at the football club and that. Yeah, so we need to see a variety of changes at the club, and the recruitment's definitely got to improve as well. That's my element of concern, definitely. Yeah. So anyway, guys, drop me comments, likes on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and we'll be back with some more videos very, very soon. Thanks for watching.